without a cow. No more milk or cheese. No more New York steak. No more fertilizer. No more barbecues. No more leather shoes. No more butter and biscuits. No more Ben and Jerry's. But there is a cow. I see them every day. I see them from the freeway, California. I can't stand my life without the cow. Life without the cow. No more cottage cheese. No more hamburguesas, cowgirls or cowboys. No more saying moo. No more cow and chicken. No more frozen yogurt. No more big brown eyes. But there is a cow. I see them every day. I see them from the freeways, California. I can't stand my life without the cow. Rubber bull.
Caucasian.
Guernsey,
Black Angus,
Buffalo, Elton Galloway, Brown Swiss,
Georgia,
Tesla Horn,
Jamaica Red,
Florida cracker. But there is a cow. I see them every day. I see them from the freeways, California. I can't stand my life without the cow.
I love the bar, I love the rodeo.
Can you hear those cows going, partner?
En Mexico I have a dog.
En mi rancho tengo muchas vacas.
I saw a cow on the freeway.
I love cream cheese on my bagel.
Vamos al pueblo donde hay las vacas.
But there is a cow. I see them every day. I see them from the freeway, California. I can't stand my life without the cow. But there is a cow. I see them every day. I see them from the freeway, California. I can't stand my life without the cow.
As you know, I work at Performing Arts Studio West. We have over 100 students. And then, of course, the Meet the Biz program has meshed in with them, and we're all about bringing everybody together.
Great.
So we have two students today who are excited to come on and talk with you and join in the interview and the visit. We have the wonderful Devon Morgan right over there.
Great. Hi, Devon. How you doing, buddy?
Hi.
And I love your background. That background's awesome.
Thank you.
And
It's
then
from,
we
my,
have
it's from my baby brothers, Mathew.
Oh, nice. That's really cool.
I call him my baby brother.
Very good.
Matthew Seldman, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then we have the wonderful Austin Vance.
Hi,
Hey, Austin. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Thanks for joining us.
Matthew Klickstein. And I wanted to do this because you mentioned it on your shirt, this.
Yeah.
And this is, and I love hardbacks. You can feel it. And it's really wonderful. And what I'm excited about this too is that it just came out on audio book, right?
It did, yeah. The book, The Kids of Widney Junior High Take Over the World, came out through a very small but plucky and dedicated publisher, Schiffer Kids, back in September. And due to particularly some interest and some love that we received from actress and neuroscientist Maya Bialik, who's been a great supporter of the project since we came out with it, we were able to get a lot of people to have interest in the book, and that in turn led to an audiobook project that just came out based on the book, and it includes also some songs from the actual Kids of Widney High that just came out through Blackstone Audio. Just early March, I believe. So just a couple weeks ago. It actually, the audiobook is available right now on Amazon and Audible, but will be released in full and wide, I believe in June. And it was read by a gentleman named Carey Height, who is one of the big performers in the world of audiobooks. There was actually just an article written about him in the New York Times a couple months ago, so we're very excited to have had him on board. And he did a fantastic job of the voices and everything. A lot of people ask, oh, you had an audiobook come out, did you do it? And I said, no, that's not for me. But we did have a really fantastic pro who got on board to do it. So that just came out as well. And we
now, did you cast him, or how did the casting go for that?
No, Blackstone is one of the top audiobook publishers worldwide. I think they're in the top 3 or something like that. So they have their own kind of library of narrators and hosts. They sent me 3 samples of 3 different people reading a selection from the book. And right away, as soon as I heard the first one, Carey, I said, that's the guy. I did listen to the other 2 just to give them their chance as well. I wanted to be fair. The second one was all right. And the third one, I feel okay saying this because I'm not going to say his or her name, but the third one was so bad, I actually wondered why this person was included. But I also was glad that I could at least kind of tell the difference, because this was the first time I was doing something like this. I've had other audiobooks based on my projects come out before, but I never got to choose, so to speak, who was involved. So, but yeah, Carey, immediately I knew. I mean, the only reason I listened to the other 2 was to try to be fair, just in case. But it was very obvious right away. Not only was he a super pro, but he just nailed kind of the voice and the tone of what we were trying for. Because even though it's about the Kids of Widney High as sort of a younger version of the Kids of Widney Junior High, and I based a lot of it on the actual kids and that kind of thing, and though there's a lot of important messaging in it, we're very proud of that, and all these issues with people with disabilities and so forth. At the end of the day, it's also really fun, irreverent, kind of goofy, cartoonish almost book, as the Kids of Widney High themselves are. A lot of their songs are very cartoonish and silly and fun, and that's a lot of what they're about. So, I wanted there to be that tone. I didn't want it to be too grave or somber. I wanted it to be really upbeat and fun, because that's how the Kids of Widney High are, and that's how the book is. And it happens also to deal with these headier topics that I'm really glad we were able to discuss and engage in, especially for children's literature, because there's so little of that, unfortunately.
Right. I know, Austin, you had a question or 2 of Matthew.
Yeah. I have a question about one of your books based on The Simpsons. What is the most interesting thing about working on that book?
That is a really good question, because you're not just asking about the book, but the experience of working on it. So thank you.
Yeah.
I take it. Are you a writer yourself? Do you work in any kind of writing or anything also?
I'm mainly an animator, but I do some writing too.
Oh, great. Well, if you don't mind my saying, I still am very close with a lot of the Simpsons people. So if you have any samples of your animation, they're really good about checking that kind of stuff out. I'd love to pass it along to them to see, if you have any work, because I love sending them and I do that all the time. I send them my friends' stuff all the time. So who knows, and if they like it enough. But anyway, that's a whole thing for later. To answer your question though, Austin, it was a fantastic experience. And that book is Springfield Confidential. It came out a couple years ago through HarperCollins. I had the opportunity to work with Mike Reese, as you know, but anyone listening to this who might not, who's one of 2 people who's written for The Simpsons since it started. So he's been there the entire time. And this was the first time, although there's been a lot of books about The Simpsons out there, this was the first time that it was an insider look, where somebody from the show was actually involved in the history or book, which was really exciting to do as well. Because of that, I definitely got a lot of insider information. And Austin, probably like yourself, I grew up on this show. I mean, The Simpsons was, my show. And if you're an animator, I'm sure it's really big for you. So it was really wild to kind of get to experience all this history of The Simpsons from the inside, from Mike and some of the people he had me talk to and that I got to meet for the book. So that was very exciting. And I can't even describe it. But I will say, because it was the first insider book, and because we knew how important The Simpsons is to people, not only like yourself, but the many fans out there, we knew we had to be very, very careful. And we knew we had to really do our best to make it a good book, a funny book, a tight book, a book that people would enjoy. We wanted to make sure to get everything right, because even though Mike's written for the show since it started, we're talking 700 episodes now, 30 years plus. So there was some stuff even he got a little wrong that I had to fact check him on. And that was one of the reasons he was glad I was on board. So it was amazing though, Austin. I really, really enjoyed it. And I feel so lucky and grateful that I got to work on that project. So it was exciting, but it was also very challenging and a little scary, but I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And for audiobooks, I will say Mike himself, Mike Reese, does read the audiobook. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, Austin, or anyone else listening, I would say that's the way to do it, because he has a bit of a cartoonish voice and he's very funny and his delivery has a lot to do with it. So when you're reading the book, it's really enjoyable, but to hear him read it, I probably listened to it myself like 5 times because it's just so funny. So I recommend the audiobook of Springfield Confidential. But thank you, Austin. Thanks for asking about that.
Sir.
Mr. Morgan.
Hey, Mathew I don't know your last name.
Klickstein.
Okay, Klickstein, I'm sorry.
It's okay. A lot of people mispronounce it. It's totally fine.
As you can say, I am a voice actor myself. I think you can tell by the background.
Yeah, no, I love it. Like I said, that's great.
I mean, it's my friend / brother Matthew Selden's background that because he makes EV cartoons and I'm really a part of them.
Terrific.
If I had a question, I would say, if you were ever to do a voice for one of the EV characters on the background here, who would it be and why would you voice that character?
Interesting. Well, let me start by saying, I might excuse my ignorance. I actually don't know what an EV video is. Can you explain, and maybe there might be other people watching or listening who might not be familiar with that as well, because I actually don't know what that is.
Well, it's EV, I think EVs are like Pokemon.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they're like EVs. They're like Pokemon. You got Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Sylveon, and Dawn the Espeon, and Dusk the Umbreon. And what Mathew did was he made those characters come to life. And he kind of put his own spin on what, I mean, it's hard to explain. He kind of put his own spin on things, like, because I was watching one of his cartoons. I was like, wait a minute, this is so good. I want to be a part of this. And then next thing I know, it was my dream to be a part of it. And then next thing I know, I just got the dream. I just got the my dream come true. So,
but what was so great about that too is he animated Devon as Devon.
Yes, he did.
Around these characters.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, that, and actually that answers your question a little bit more too, Austin, on a more specific level. To get to be a part of the Simpsons story by telling the history with one of the people who really helped to fashion the Simpsons, that's a little bit of what I was experiencing. I mean, it's not the same thing as getting to voice a character on the show or something, but you can understand, sir, how I felt getting to work on the Simpsons book. So, because it was like almost a dream come true as far as getting to be part of the show that I loved so much. So you really understand what I was going through when I was working on that, sir. But just looking at the characters right now, for some reason, I really like this gentleman with the yellow sweater and who's got a blue head and a red dot.
Dawn.
Is that what his name is? Dawn? Is that Dawn?
It's a girl.
Okay, Dawn. Okay, DAWN.
Yeah.
Yes.
Girl or guy, I really like that character. She looks really fun, and I love the color scheme, and I love that sweater. I actually often wear sweaters like that. And something just about the composure of her face, the disposition, I really like. She looks pleased, but not overly so. Like maybe she's contemplative or thinking, and big ears so she can kind of hear everything and know what's going on. But for some reason, that character is the one that connects with me the most. I really like that character. I like Dawn. So
she's psychic too.
What's that?
She's a psychic.
That makes sense with the third. So that's a third eye there. I was thinking that maybe that makes sense that would be a third eye, which to some cultures that's a psychic symbol. So very cool. Well, I definitely will have to check out these Eevee videos now at some point. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. And congratulations that you got to voice some characters on it. Being that it
not some, just me.
Well, yeah, even hey, one's better than none. So and I'm hoping and would imagine if you did as good of a job as it sounds like, maybe you'll get to do some more later. I mean, that's one of the nice things about getting on with a show like that. Yeah, I mean, just like with The Simpsons, a lot of the people do a lot of voices on there.
What a dream that would be to voice that show. And and the other thing is, now that you told me that Dawn is a psychic, it's like my mom. This is where my mind goes. Oh, Devon, you have to give me her number because I've been looking for a good psychic. So that's where I go.
That's funny.
Now, Mathew, what out of all the things you've done, what are you most proud of?
Wow, that one's a tough one. I mean, I know it's easy, but it's true. I'm probably most proud of my marriage. We hope to have kids here soon. Now that we're both getting a little older, it's definitely time to get that going. We would like to very much have a kid or two. But I really love my wife, Becky. As I said, she helped to fashion the website. She helps me keep it up. We work on it together now, but she really got it going, and that was a big help for my career in a lot of ways. I have to say, she's been an excellent partner, and I just feel very lucky to have someone like that in my life. She's my best friend. I love her family. Which was very important for me when I was looking for a new life partner after some of the other girlfriends I had, some of whom I stay in touch with and have remained friendly with. I have a tendency of staying close with some of my old girlfriends, and Becky's aware of that. But I realized a lot of them had some troubles with their families, and that might have resulted in some of the problems that we had. And so I remember thinking the next girl that I get close with, I very much hope that she's close with her family. That just became very important for me. And indeed, that was one of the things that really attracted me to my wife when I first met her, because there were just certain scenarios. Her dad had just passed a month earlier when we met, and so that was kind of in the air. And the way she was handling that, and I met some of her other family because there were different events that were going on because of that. And I just remember thinking, I really like this girl. She's really cool and fun, and she gets along very well with her family, and that was very important for me at the time. And indeed, so my marriage is definitely very important for me, and she's been a great partner. As far as creative projects, which is probably what you meant more to the point.
No, I love that you brought that right
now. Obviously, all my work with the kids at Widney High over the years has been very important for me because they have remained close friends of mine. And, this comes up, especially lately, a lot. I first met the kids when I was 18 years old, and I'm going to be 40 this year soon. And if you do the math, I've known the kids at Widney High more than half my life now. And I've been working with them since I first met them, since I went to their first class at Joseph P. Widney High School, the special ed high school in LA, where I met them in their music class. So I really can definitively say that even though I've moved around a lot and I haven't had a chance to, unfortunately, see them in person a lot over the last few years, we stay in touch over phone and email and LinkedIn. I'm not involved in social media, but I do use LinkedIn. And so some of them I speak with in that regard, definitely over the phone a lot. Michael Monaghan, the head of the kids, who I always like to call out because he's just one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my entire life. He's basically like an uncle to me or an older brother. He's an amazing, amazing man. And what he did to get the kids at Widney High going, and how he's still keeping some of that alive, and how he and I work together. It's been an incredible gift to be close with Michael and to be close with the kids and to talk with them and hear how they're doing and to get to work on all these different projects with them. And there's been so much. We have so many videos and the documentary and now this book and I wasn't involved in the comic book that they did a few years ago with some comic book people, but I was kind of around for that, and I'm friendly with some of the people who worked on it, one of whom went off to go help with some of the last Spider-Man movies, and one of his first things was the Kids of Widney High comic book, and so we were very proud of him. And and it just completely changed my life so much because I met so many people through it, and it's part of what led me into the world of working in arts therapy as a vocation over the years. And so I'm very proud of that, and that I hope and imagine and believe that my bringing that to the kids and what I could offer to them to help them with their art and their movies and their work and their books and things help to enrich their lives as well, which I believe that it has. And I'm very proud of that too. And now here we are standing at this precipice, all of us here, Devon and Austin and David, you here and in your organizations and everything you guys are doing and what we're talking now, like it's really starting to happen. I really want to believe that. I really want to be optimistic to see Crip Camp get nominated for Academy Award, to see some of the other discussions that are going on. Friends of mine in LA and New York and elsewhere who have disabilities that are getting to do more movie work and TV work and are working in cartoons and voicing their own characters. I'm seeing and hearing that more and more. And gentlemen, as I'm sure you all know, that has not really been the case up until more recently. And to see that change happening, even though there's a lot more that needs to be done, none of us are going to stop. Sounds like Devon and Austin and David, you guys aren't going to stop either to make that happen and make more of that happening. It's great that we're at a place where we can get this out there, where I can do a children's book about a group like the Kids of Widney High, which took me 8 years to find a publisher for. I mean, no one wanted to do it. And I was publishing all these other books and doing movies and doing all this other stuff. So, I'm just going to say it wasn't me, like I was having my success. I was working with Simon & Schuster and Penguin and so forth, but everyone was a little nervous about when I wanted to do a book about disability for children. And all of a sudden, this small company in Philadelphia, Schiffer Kids, run by Pete Schiffer, an amazing man himself, said, let's do this. And they did. And they put together this beautiful book, and a portion of profits go to an organization you guys might be aware of, being in LA area, LA Goal, which we're really, happy about, that some of the profits can go to them. They really can use it right now. They get paid before I do, actually, the way the payment scheme goes. And that Mayim Bialik came out to support us. It's very important these days to have an influencer, a celebrity say, hey, everyone, check this out. That was really helpful because we really didn't have a budget for promotion and such. I've just been doing stuff like this for the last few months, which is so great. And thank you guys for having me on. And thank you, Devon and Austin, for joining us, and David for doing this as well. I hope people will check out the book. This is definitely a labor of love. No one's getting rich off the book, but we're hoping that it can broaden people's minds and help people learn more about the Kids of Widney High. Persons with disabilities can maybe see themselves more authentically portrayed, which was very important for us, but also persons without disabilities can have a better understanding of maybe, especially younger people, how to interact and engage with their friends with disabilities or whatever it might be, which is very important for us as well. And so, so that would probably be the creative project. So, and obviously I like to talk a lot, so.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you
so much for being here.
Hey there, Mathew Klickstein here, just giving some love to the kids of Widney Junior High, an awesome book based on a real-life group of musicians with special needs who found their voices and themselves, and this book is like a young adult version of what their lives would have been like in junior high. It's fun for kids. I just showed you a picture that didn't even have any drawings, but there's cool illustrations, and it's a really beautiful story, especially to share with tweens and teens about acceptance and inclusion, and I cannot recommend it highly enough.